21 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock here on your Thursday morning. It is on Sara's Partyline. Partyline today brought to you by Wimmer Opticians along with Chiropractic Connection. We are talking, as Randy so eloquently put, Dennis Fuchs and friends in studio today.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
That was pretty nice of Randy.
I liked it too. And he brought an old friend in. He's back.
I am. I'm back I did a detail in the southeast Minnesota.
Now, the last I saw you were on the back of a milk carton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was lost.
If found, send to KASM Radio on the fourth Thursday of the month. So.
Yes. I did a detail down in southeast as the assistant to field ops for the southeast area. So I spent 120 days down there learning how it is to be basically my boss. So it was a really good opportunity to learn a lot about kind of the upper state office type principal staff, personnel type processes and things that they were doing and responsible for. So it was a really good experience. So.
For those listening, wondering, gosh, I think I recognize that voice. It is indeed the triumphant return of Chris Hogge back on Partyline here today.
Yes, it is. I am back for a while now.
120 days closer to Iowa, too.
Yes, I was. I did spend a little bit of time. I almost took the Gov vehicle and drove across the state line.
Thought about it?
And kissed the Iowa soil, but I did not. I reserved that for a later time.
For another day. So he's away. He's gone 120 days. Pining for Iowa. It's right there. He can almost touch it. He could He could smell Diamond Joe's, but couldn't quite get there.
Absolutely.
But so what was going on in your office while you were gone?
Well, while I was
How
gone,
could you just leave like that? You don't have a staff or anything.
I didn't at the time, but just as I was about to leave, I ended up hiring a few new staff, and some of them that you guys have met in the past and from the soil cons and stuff. But we got a DC in the office, and that's Logan Berg, and he came from Elk River. And we have a forester now from, I'm not sure exactly where he came from. He's local, but he is a forester. And then we have two interns, which would be Rachel and Michael, who's all stopped in for the summer. So it was really exciting to see. And just as I'm walking out the door, everybody's coming in, and I'm just like, well, dang, I'm about to have staff to where I can do something, and now I've got to go down and do something different. But yeah, when I came back, it was really nice to see everybody there. We're actually having issues with placing people in the office. We're about to do 2-story, stacking desks on top of desks to make sure we have enough room for people.
Put Dennis in the parking lot would be my first suggestion, but
I don't know if Dennis even stops into the office other than to come to KASM Radio.
There's a watering hole right across
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, we have some of the new staff that are stopped in this summer, and we had some others that moved off and went to other careers, like John Brzezinka out of Elk River, who was part of our team. He moved to Cambridge on the Cambridge team to do a non-supervisory DC role there. So there's been some transition, but I think overall
non-supervisory DC. You think the listeners know what that means?
I'm sure they don't, because it's government speak. But non-supervisory DC, it used to be what the old district conservationist was.
Sure.
And so they oversee day-to-day office operations in a field office for a county. And then the team lead oversees the supervision of everyone. And then we do all the admin fun. So that's kind of what I do.
All right. You brought them in. We got to grill them, right? They're not just going to sit here and watch you guys talk.
Oh, no. You don't want to listen to me talk. I've already shared all the information I have.
Chris brought in his interns, Rachel Fischer, as well as Michael Ibarra today. Rachel, take the microphone. They say acronyms like this, and are you up to speed on the acronyms? These guys are like military sometimes. They're just one after another with these acronyms.
Yeah, I'm slowly catching on to all the acronyms, learning a few of them. There's a ton, so every day it's like another one. I'm like, what the heck does that mean?
Hold on. What's that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Having to stop and slow down. You said 5 acronyms. Explain that to me for a second.
Now, you deal with it every day. I get them once a month, and they talk to me like I know what I'm talking, or like I know what they're talking about. So right. I feel your pain. Rachel Fischer joining us, an intern. When did the internship start?
It started beginning of May, just after school ended. So school ended for me, graduation was the 5th, and then I started the 6th.
Okay.
So.
And where are you a student?
I'm a student down in Mankato at University of Minnesota. Not University of Minnesota, Minnesota State University, Mankato.
Sure.
Yeah.
And everything's still dry at your apartment or your dorm?
No, it is flooding down there.
Yeah.
roommates were talking to me like, it is wet and flooding our apartment right now.
Yeah,
So, but everything seemed to have survived, so we're good down there.
Sure. Through month and change on the job, what's it been like at the Soil and Water Conservation District, or NRCS? I suppose you're doing a little more work at.
Yeah. My internship's through the NRCS, so it's been good. It's been a lot of different things, going out and learning a lot, talking to people, landowners, farmers, kind of getting the ropes, just all of the different programs that we offer, just kind of seeing everything and getting a lot of experience with the varying parts. I go with SWCD, NRCS, kind of anyone can take me out, show me the ropes of anything.
Are you 21 years old?
22.
22, so Dennis brings you to bars then.
Oh, yeah, all the time, every day.
We did have a happy hour after our staff meeting this week, Tuesday, but we did not see them there.
Oh.
I've been busy, man.
Those are open invites, too.
Yeah.
Rachel will have more to discuss with you throughout the hour as we'll spin the microphone over to Michael. Michael Ibarra, did you start your internship around the same time?
Essentially, right around like May 20th is when I popped up over here. So. Yeah.
And you're a student where?
I'm a student at Virginia State University in the state of Virginia.
Interesting.
I just found out Minnesota has a place called Virginia, and it was really confusing. They're like, "Oh, you're from up there?" I'm like, "No,
I'm
south.
out there." Yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about? So, yeah.
You should go up to Virginia, Minnesota. By the way, if you ever have like 4 hours to drive up there, it's pretty sweet. But
everyone keeps telling me to go everywhere, and I'm like, I don't know where it is, but I want to. Let's do it.
He has a bike. It'll be all right.
Yeah,
I'll get a car eventually.
Yeah, it's tough to get to Virginia, Minnesota on the Huffy. So
yeah,
Dennis probably could find a path for you though, if anyone could do it.
Yeah, he's a biker. He was here last year and he found a bike, and this year he found another bike. Tell a story on how you found your bike.
Okay.
No.
So what happened was, Chris was supposed to give me my bike for this year, but he was gone at the time. Thank you for abandoning me. And at some point, we were just like, someone was trying to give away this old vintage, like a road bike, only has like 2 gears to it. And I was like, I'll take it. It's like, oh, the tires are flat. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I'll find air.
And we just spent the whole day ripping and running, trying to find parts for it to fix it up with me and one of my coworkers, Kayla. And it worked. We found a tire pump. We found tires. We found brake, everything. It was like a miracle. And it was like basically for free. So now I just ride that, and it's been keeping me good.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah.
We almost took it over here to KASM this morning, but we didn't know if all 4 of us would.
Sure.
The tires were going to hold us.
No, it would burst.
Interstate driving probably not the best. Well, Michael, how did you find the Stearns County Soil Watershed Conservation? NRCS? How did you end up from Virginia to Central Minnesota?
I got a scholarship called it's the 1890 Land Grant Scholarship. They support students to go to school, and afterwards they try to help link them directly to any USDA affiliated organization. They said, you know what, you're smart, you're good, we're going to throw you in the middle of Minnesota, see how you do. And that's kind of what happened. And after my first summer here, I actually love it. It's a great place to be.
Sure.
I love the outdoors here. Was
there some reality to that as well? They just kind of placed you with these guys? You didn't outreach or anything?
No, they find a sponsoring agency, and the USDA was like, anyone want to take him? And Chris probably, I don't know, someone was like, you know what, we want him.
Chris, he had a staff of 0 for a long, long time. I'm sure it was Chris.
Yeah, I heard that we didn't have a lot of soil cons, so they onboarded me as a soil con. So I, shadowed people who did that kind of work. So, yeah, so that's kind of how I ended up here.
Chris, through month and change with these guys, granted you weren't there for a ton of it, but nice to have some warm bodies at the office.
Oh, absolutely. I've kind of put them in charge of doing CRP status reviews. So they're going out and learning plant ID and how to, of course it's government, so how to complete the correct paperwork and taking photos. And it's just an opportunity where they can get out in the field and they can kind of just see the county and see how things are and just really get a good feel for everything. And they also, the staff, like Rachel was saying, the staff take them out whenever they have an opportunity to go out and it fits into their schedule. They can go and see, were you guys doing irrigation tests?
Yes, we were just doing that the other day with Megan and Jake.
Yeah, they were doing irrigation, and I can't think of what
Uniformity testing.
They were doing uniformity testing with Megan. They've done some engineering stuff that they've worked with. So they've been out with a lot of different folks. So that it'll be a good experience hopefully this summer.
Rachel, if you could spin the microphone back, did you always have a passion for things of this nature? Is it something you kind of pined to be when you were younger, or just kind of fell in love with science in high school, or how did this come about?
Yeah, all throughout high school, I liked all of the sciences, physics, chemistry, all of that stuff. So I knew I wanted to go into a science field. So I ended up going to school for environmental science and found an interest in soil and soil conservation, and conservation in general. So it kind of just fell into place. And then my professor actually emailed me about this position at the NRCS. And that's how I found out about it, got an interview set up, all that. It all kind of fell into place naturally. I was really lucky with that.
Sure.
So it's working out really well.
So you go to school at Mankato State, or Minnesota State Mankato, sorry. When my brother went there, it was Mankato State. So it was different times. But are you from southern Minnesota?
No, actually. I am from right here in St. Cloud, just over near St. Joseph is where
Gotcha.
I grew up. So, yeah, it was really nice being able to come back. When I interviewed, they gave me the choice to kind of have an opinion on where I ended up, because the position was for all across Minnesota. So they were kind of like, where do you want to be? Like, we'll try our best to place you. And luckily, I was able to get here in Waite Park.
Sure. So Michael knows nothing about the area. You could direct him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, kind of. I know at least, I'm exploring a lot more than I used to.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of places I'd never been. But yeah, so even I'm learning the area, but I know a lot more than Michael does, for sure.
The Virginia landscape and the central Minnesota landscape, Michael, probably vary a little bit. If you could pull the microphone over.
Quite a lot. I've moved around a lot, but this is the first time I've seen actual dark, almost black soil.
Sure.
In Virginia, we have a lot of red clay soil. It's really brown, really red. So when I got here, I was like, you guys use too much fertilizer. And it's like, no, it's just dark. It's a different landscape too.
Sure.
We have mountains and hills. It's very flat land here.
Sure it is.
Wide open spaces. Your corn fields are out of the league of Virginia. They're massive.
Yeah.
It's a whole new experience.
Has he seen a chisel plow yet, Dennis?
I'm pretty sure he has.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
probably even a moldboard plow.
And you're trying to make that never happen again? Yeah.
Yeah.
If he had it his way,
Yeah,
try to keep it out of there. We do have to break for a market update. We will have more to come. We have Rachel Fischer, Michael Ibarra, and, of course, Chris and Dennis from Soil and Water, as well as NRCS and a whole bunch of different acronyms we'll get into. Dennis has got a lot of stuff to talk about, I'm sure, too, today. With events coming up, they're always busy in the summer. Right now, we break for a market update on Partyline. We catch up with the Chicago Board of Trade market update. Your morning market's brought to you by Minnesota Farm Bureau, representing 30,000 farm families across the state. Learn more, www.fbmn.org. Chicago Board of Trade morning market update here on KASM, brought to you by Minnesota Farm Bureau, advancing the vitality of rural Minnesota and agriculture. Learn more at www.fbmn.org. We are talking this morning on Sarah's Partyline, brought to you by Wimmer Opticians and Chiropractic Connection, with Rachel Fischer and Michael Ibarra. What would your internship title be? Are you NRCS interns? Are you Soil Water Con? Or just flat out intern?
I would say that right now my title is I am a NRCS student trainee.
Gotcha.
So they're not fully here's your whole real adult job title. It's just now you're a student trainee. You're just training right now.
Sure.
It's nothing solid yet.
Set in stone, sure. And Rachel, is it kind of cool too to, like Michael's alluding to, basically intern on everything? Get to be a part of it all?
I mean, yeah. Technically, on paper, I'm just an intern for the NRCS, but honestly, it's like 50-50 working with NRCS, SWCD. I'm always hopping over the wall between me and SWCD, talking to those guys. So, yeah, it's really nice being able to sample everything, kind of get a feel for everything. We all work together and help each other out.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool part about these two and the organization itself, that NRCS and SWCD do go kind of hand in hand. You talk about hopping over the wall. Literally, is it like one room over? It's
not even a room. It's the wall of my cubicle with some guys right behind me.
Just kind of look up and over and
pretty much.
Hey, Dennis. Yeah. So
yeah. Pretty
simple. They're all right there. Chris, what do you have planned for these two for the remainder of the summer and that internship?
For the internships, Rachel and Michael are actually two different types of internships. Michael is what is referred to as a Pathways intern. He's an 1890 Pathways internship. I've had some conversations on the radio about it before. This is a really good opportunity for college kids to basically kind of sample what the agency does. And Pathways is kind of NRCS's version of the internship program. And then Rachel is on a CLC internship program, which is kind of like a 50-50 partnership with Central Lakes College and the Natural Resources Conservation Service. And I'm not sure if SWCD in the upper levels is involved in that or not. I'm unsure.
I'm not sure, but I think we are part of that.
But it gives a really good opportunity for Minnesota college students who are tied into the Central Lakes Community College, the opportunity to experience like the office, but it's not a fully NRCS type process. So a lot of people can get into those internships pretty easily. And like Rachel said, everything fell into place. And as far as NRCS hiring goes, we hire a lot of, I think across the state we've hired 7 or 8 CLC interns over the past few years, and Pathways, once they're done with their internship, they literally walk into a career.
Sure.
So it's a really good opportunity, and hopefully these two will share kind of how they got where they got and what their career path is looking like. But as far as summer work, like I said, they're going to be doing a lot of CRP. I don't want to keep them in the office too much.
Oh,
it's kind of the rain's keeping them in the office, but once it stops raining, they're going to
Get them out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to spend a lot of time out in the field looking at CRP, identifying grasses and forbs to kind of just assess how CRP plantings are doing, and then they're going to basically put together we'll call it a document that we share with the Farm Service Agency or FSA, and it tells whether they're in compliance with their CRP or they need to do some work. So usually what's going to happen is producers are going to get a letter from FSA saying they need to probably mow or address trees or shrubs or that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much what they're going to do. And then they're going out to the field with anybody who breathes and is going out to do conservation.
Anybody.
Yeah. So we have a lot of people like engineers that I think when you guys were in the office too, you could have gone out and done the uniformity test with Megan this morning, or you could have gone out and done engineering this morning, but instead
KASM Radio.
they happily chose KASM Radio to be with you.
And boy, are we happy that's the decision that they made. Chris wanted you to talk about your career path, how you got here, and where you're going. So tell me about the next 25 years of your life. No, I'm kidding, Rachel. What is the future hold for you? What's the plan right now?
Yeah, so first off, I have to finish school. I have 1 semester left, so that'll be this fall. I have to go back, finish up a few classes, finish up that stuff, and yeah, I'm going on over 4 years right now, so I'm excited to be done with that. But yeah, then I'm gonna stay in this area, come back to St. Cloud. If possible, I'm hopefully gonna stay with the NRCS in this area, but we'll see how that goes and what happens there. But yeah, I'm just hoping to stay in this kind of work. I really like what we're doing and how we help landowners and farmers kind of just help them with their conservation efforts and make their processes go better.
Sure.
So I'm hoping to stay in that kind of work.
Have you had some relationships with local growers and stuff like that, talking about game plans and cover crops and things of that nature?
Yeah, I have gone along with people doing that kind of stuff. I'm not experienced enough to do that stuff by myself.
Sure.
But I've definitely gone out, seen people make plans, talk to landowners, kind of the first site visits and second site visits, kind of seeing how that process works and what needs to be done to like get the process going.
Yeah. Well, what's cool is, and from what Chris has taught me, and he's taught me a lot over our time together, is the fact that how it can start with just a simple conversation and just say, hey, the guy next door was doing this. I was curious if I could, from like the groundwork stages, Rachel, into putting the plan in motion. That's what makes it fun, right? Getting that game plan together and trying to build for the future.
Exactly. Yeah. Like first conversation is just getting an idea of what they want and what is feasible on their land and what they have working with. So yeah, it really just starts with conversation. And I know at least a few times we've worked with like families, like we're working with one person. They say like, oh yeah, my brother was off doing this thing or my neighbor was doing this thing. So it really is just passing it along, kind of
Sure.
working through people.
Giving them the options and trying to figure out the game plan from there.
Exactly.
Michael, is this your final year of school as well?
Yes, it is.
Gotcha.
That's my final semester that I'm about to enter, and afterwards I'll be, because I'm set up differently with my internship, I'm contracted for how many years the NRCS will pay for my college. I work off with them. So I'll roughly be working about 2 years, 3-ish years off, but I'm happy for that. I'm excited to go ahead and get started and finally graduate. Tired of all these essays and just to get to work.
I've always, when you get to that finish line of college and it's like, okay, I don't have to write one more paper on something, 14 pages on this, go.
Yep.
And it's due on Wednesday type of deal. It's always an exciting time. But NRCS locally or where they send you type of deal? Do you have a plan, or is it their plan?
Usually it's just I guess it's a mix for where they will send me and what I'll be doing.
Sure.
But oftentimes, especially in the office, really, they give us a lot of autonomy to just say, hey, here's what we need to do. Go off and do what you have to do. Come back, report, and we're all good. So you get a lot of freedom. You get a lot of responsibility, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, and hearing Chris talk about how the holdover, they've had plenty of interns that they've hired on full-time through the NRCS, through the state. That's got to be a nice little feather in your cap, knowing that there is some opportunity out there for you.
Oh, yeah, and it's especially in the USDA, there's a lot of opportunities to keep growing. You're not just stuck in one little area. You can always move over here, move to this place, or talk to some people and try to expand your career. And every time I've talked to someone about it, it's always a great experience.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I thought I did this, but ultimately I decided to go here, and I like it. And it's always good.
So once that 2-year NRCS payback program is complete with you, then what? Hired on full-time, or where are you thinking you're going?
I was thinking about staying here and continuing to work. So right after those 2 years are up, I'd try my best to continue staying here. I wanted to see what really fit me, if being a soil comm was really good, stay, or if I'm like, I'm interested in this, I want to kind of be part of the wetland crew. Let's see how that's going to work out. And I would just find my little place.
Sure. And Chris, it's a golden opportunity for these guys as you've handled many intern in your 10 years, just 10, right? That you've worked, but it's an opportunity to learn a lot and then get your foot in the door for these young men and women.
Absolutely. It's probably one of the best methods for college students to get on with the agency. I mean, when you start talking, you can test out your career path. You can gain experience that is very beneficial to your resume. You can make connections inside the agency. So when positions come open, everybody knows kind of who you are and they know what you're capable of. And those are really good things to have when you're looking for a job. The one thing about pathways, which is a little different than Central Lakes College internships, is pathways, once they get through their college degree and they graduate, they are literally, it's possible for them within 30 to 60 to 90 days of graduation to be placed into a full-time career position, and they're off and running.
Mm-hmm.
CLC, they gain the experience, but it is one where they would more than likely have to apply for the position, but they have the experience. Their resume is one step above everybody else's because they've worked in offices, NRCS offices. They have that ability. They've worked with the partnerships. They're aware of the practices. They're aware of the programs. And that makes a huge difference when you are filling out a resume and everybody else has other jobs that they worked part-time in college, and you have an internship that, hey, I've done this job as an internship.
Sure.
I know
Resume
what I'm
booster.
doing, and that looks a lot different when they're going through resumes.
Fuji, when you take a peek at these kids, and Chris has been there 10 years, you've been 11 now, that the opportunity that just getting to know people throughout the office and getting your hands dirty in different entities throughout the day, throughout your office, Chris's office, such an advantage for these young folks.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It's, my career is approaching the sunset, and I look at these young people joining.
You only have to work for 11 years and you get to retire in your job? That's kind
a
of
little bit longer.
Oh, okay.
It's been so much fun, it only seems like 11 years.
Yeah.
But you look at these young people coming into our office, and the future is bright for the conservation world. and we got some very talented folks joining our team. And then, Rachel mentioned about, just jumping over to Cube to work with our staff, the SWCD staff, NRCS staff. That's kind of unique. Wade Park Service Center is known as a powerhouse, and it's because of our relationship with NRCS. We don't pursue internships students as much as NRCS because we work with them to bring young people in. And we only got so much room in our office, so we're squeezing them in, and it's been just an awesome partnership, bringing in Pathways and CLC students like Rachel and Michael, and very, very happy to have people like this join our team and looking at a career here potentially in Central Minnesota. And there's so much work to do, and it's great to see these people have the passion to help our landowners.
Well, where are you going to send these to this summer when they say, hey, Dennis, today I'm told I'm on your staff. Where would you like me? Well, first order of business, where should we get a beer?
Yeah. Well, that is definitely something that's important. But Minnesota Ag Water Quality Certification Program is another opportunity for them to get out. It's a form of conservation planning that we do with our farmers. We look at every field, every crop, identify resource concerns, and if they do well enough in applying conservation practices and nutrient management planning, they can get certified, and that protects them from any future regulations from the state and the federal authorities. And they also prove to the public that they're doing a great job in protecting Minnesota resources. And they also get a 12-pack of Minnesota Gold beer from 3rd Street Brewery. So they haven't, I haven't had an opportunity to actually get them out on one of those certifications, and they're probably working with staff in that process. But it is a program that I'm proud of, and something that I'd like to see them participate in if there's an opportunity.
When you talk about those opportunities and things of that nature, not just the Minnesota Gold-related carrot in front of the horse, but the chances that you guys have to show them, because you're busy, you guys have events and you talk with local growers a lot, and you have conferences and things like that. Is it cool to get them to kind of get their foot in the door?
We just had a private well testing event. Over 250 people showed up at the Boho Cafe in Holdingford, and Rachel was there. Michael, I don't think you were at that event.
No,
yeah. And so Rachel was there helping folks get registered, collecting information on their well, and sharing information with them. It's just an extremely well-attended event, and having support from Rachel and other partners there to help support our clients that are concerned about their drinking water quality was just fantastic. And I think it was a good opportunity to learn, too, from the people that we work with, their concerns, and sharing that information with them.
Rachel, if you could take the microphone on it in an opportunity like that at the Boho where, wow, 200 people came out, over 200 people came out who had curiosity about their water and were interested in, the quality and what's floating around in there. That's got to be kind of cool to think of the future, too, that there's still that passion for that.
Oh, yeah, it was really cool to see how many people came out to do that. I had no idea, this was the first time I did anything like this. I had no idea, how many people would come out, what the process would be like, what would be happening. But yeah, it was really cool to see how many people came out and how many people cared that much to see what was in their water and to make sure it was healthy and okay to drink and all that. But yeah, it was really nice doing that kind of outreach kind of things, and I'm hoping to do more of those in the future. But that's all depends on one of our coworkers in the office. So it all depends on her and if she needs my help and if she wants my help.
Had you been to the Boho before?
I had not. Not
cool
before
place.
Then.
Yeah.
It is delicious food.
Did they have the wood fire pizza thing going that night?
No, they did not.
Just regular menu. Gotcha.
Yep.
And Dennis wasn't found anywhere other than one spot right next to the beer tap room, I would assume. But
yeah, they do serve beer there. I
they
found that out.
Do they now?
Yeah.
Oh, who would have thought?
Michael, you were part of an educational opportunity, weren't you, for students?
Yeah, I was. It was, yes, it was.
And what was that one about?
That was related to, wasn't that the tour that we were doing? But that was a different thing. Oh, no, are you talking about the Avon Lake?
Avon, yep.
Yeah, so me and a couple of my coworkers, I got invited out, thank goodness, to participate in a field day with Avon Elementary with a lot of the 5th graders. We were just demonstrating what happens with, especially with our little section, we were talking about erosion and how if you have, a lot of plants that are on the side of every lake, it can help prevent runoff and the recedingness of the beaches or the little shorelines. And we were kind of explaining to these kids how that went down. We also did a little game with them where we'd have like this little field. They would have trash, and we're like, okay, so the trash is going to slow you guys down, or the grass is going to slow you down. If there's less grass, you guys run through. It was this whole thing, but it was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting a chance to get out there and educate a little bit too.
Yes.
Got to be kind of a.
Yeah, we had some graphs to show them and everything. It was kind of hard to get their attention, but I think they got the point.
It's
Hopefully.
fifth graders in a nutshell,
Yeah.
right there. But still try to drive it home, make it fun for them a little bit.
Right.
Chris, do you guys do that a lot with local schools and stuff?
We're not so involved in the schools, not as much as I would like to be, but the Soil and Water Conservation District, Stearns County Soil and Water Conservation District staff are more involved in it. They are kind of focused in those areas, which is really excellent. So and Brittany usually runs most of those kind of arrangements as those. So I usually let Brittany know that if she needs NRCS assistance,
You'll be there.
that we will be there and we will help her in any way, shape, or form that she sees necessary.
Sure.
And it's a great opportunity because it gives staff, my staff, because right now, if I look at it, I've been there. Of course, I've been there the longest, but on my staff across the team, I have basically about 4 individuals that have been there for more than 15 years. Everybody else is pretty much 5 years and less. And I have pretty much 9 other staff that's been there 5 years or less. So it gives a really good opportunity for these young kids to get out and see what's going on, helps them understand educating folks and working with all groups, all the way from the little kids all the way up to the adults.
Get some high school or even college stuff.
And it's a really good experience. So they kind of learn some of the fundamentals when you're working with the little kids, and that translates into being able to work with the adults and helping them understand the processes.
Got a couple minutes left here with our party line guests here today. You have anything on the calendar, Dennis?
Yeah, I do.
I'd hate for you to not pass it along.
Supervisor Chuck Uphoff, he is resigning from the board. His last day is June 30th, and we're looking for a new supervisor to fill his vacancy. His term actually ends December of 2026.
Oh, I was going to say, because the 30th is Sunday. So
Yeah,
you're going to want to get moving on that.
Yep. So his last day, we actually had a conservation tour a couple weeks ago and celebrated his 25 years of service over at the Boho Cafe with a cake and a plaque. And he's just been an outstanding supervisor. And we're looking for a person that can fill that. And if you're interested, let me know before Sunday, July 7th. You got to reside in one of these townships. I'm going to read them off here. And if you got any questions, don't be afraid to give our office a call at 320-251-7800, extension 3, and ask for Dennis, and I'll relay more information. But you got to reside in the townships of Ashley, Sauk Center, Melrose, Millwood, Raymond, Getty, Grove, and Oak. So it'd be the northwest townships, those up in that part of the county. In the cities of Sauk Center, Melrose, Meyer Grove, Greenwell, New Munich, and St. Rose, and Freeport. So you got to reside in that area in order to fill out his term. And we're looking for some folks that are very interested in protecting the environment and our natural resources in a voluntary fashion. That's the way we solve our problems. We're not into regulations. We support people that have regulations. We help our clients, our landowners, get in compliance, like with feedlots and other situations, by providing technical and financial assistance. So if you're interested, give me a holler. Once again, 320-251-7800, extension 3. Ask for Dennis. That's me, and we'll get you set up. And we're going to actually have interviews after our board meeting on Tuesday, July 9th, for anybody that's interested. And there's a form that you have to fill out online, and I can provide all that when you visit with me.
Chuck had a great run, too, didn't he?
He was recognized twice as Minnesota Outstanding Supervisor by the Association of SWCDs for Minnesota. So he was, and just a lot of respect for him. He was a leader and a mentor for me. I've been there for 28 years. He was there for 25 years. So we have a long career together.
Weird. Someone getting awards in your guys' organization. Plaques go on the wall. If you guys
Yeah,
haven't noticed that, they've had a lot of success over there. Well, look at that. We got to 10 o'clock. It only
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Oh,
she
gosh.
went quick. Did you get it all in? Did you have
Yeah,
anything?
that's
Chris wants the mic once more.
I want the mic once more because I think everybody's kind of got a picture of what we brought today as the part of the internships and kind of providing that information and sharing that with the listeners. So just if you are interested or you have children college age that are interested in doing internships, please let them know that this is an opportunity. And if there is any questions, again, they can contact me. If they'd like to know more in-depth stories, still contact me and I'll let them have conversations and they can talk with, for CLC, they can talk with Rachel. And if they're interested in pathways, they can talk with Michael.
Yeah.
And they can get the story of how they had that opportunity and how they were able to kind of navigate that process.
First-hand experience through that internship.
And you can still get me at the same phone number. It's 320-251-7800. Or you can email me at christopher.hogge@usda.gov.
Christopher, welcome back to Stearns County and welcome back to KASM Radio. Rachel and Michael, it was nice meeting you guys. Enjoy the remainder of your internships. And Fuji, how about those Royals, huh? Had to get it in before the end. For those unaware, Richmond 7, Lake Henry 6 last Sunday. So
You had to bring that up.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? Didn't I? That's have a great day, guys. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kirby.
Yep, you bet. We'll talk to you next time. It is